Best movie with a drunk as a protagonist.
I like this French movie called Red Lights. Came out about like 5 or 6 years ago. Has Carole Bouquet is in it. She's a secondary role. Has Jean-Pierre Darroussin. I'm probably getting the name wrong. He's a guy who is like emasculated. He has like a pretty wife, and like they go off on a trip to go pick up their daughter from a camp, and then like they have a big fight, and she sneaks off to a train station, and so he decides to just get drunk. So he just gets drunk while driving, stopping at every bar, getting really, really drunk, and so he eventually picks up a serial killer who he's been hearing about on the radio, and he has to deal with it while he's really drunk.
Oh, wow.
So the first hour of the film, he's just drinking ridiculous amounts of alcohol and driving, and then he's like picking up a hitchhiker.
Is it a
serial killer.
thriller or a
It's
comedy
kind of
or
a
what?
weird thriller and sort of like a dark comic undertones to it. But it's based on like a Georges Simenon novel, and it turns into a really good like film noir basically. But like the hour,
premise.
there's an hour where he's just drinking way too much.
Wow.
And it's surprisingly really fun to watch a man get drunk and then have to deal with the serial killer who's in his car.
I would go with La Cienaga by Lucretia Martel. The matriarch in an Argentine family whose wealth is now disappearing because of the politics in the area. Basically drinks herself into a stupor to pretend like the family is still rich, and I managed to describe some of that movie. That was good. And it's basically just about how her dysfunctional family continually keeps surviving not killing each other somehow because they play with guns and they go out into the forest and they live in a swamp. And the whole movie is like, the undercurrent is, how are all these people that are drunk all the time not dead yet? And the answer is, I don't know, they just aren't. So,
well, she's an unusual protagonist,
yeah,
I guess.
She is.
I mean, it raised a question that I had thinking about this question. It seems that films will often have sort of adorable or attractive or appealing male drunks.
Right.
Arthur.
But very rarely do you see women drunks who are supposed to be protagonists. And it seems to be kind of interesting gender thing.
Or it's supposed to be appealing protagonists. When women are portrayed as drunk, it's never in a positive light. Yeah,
Bridget Jones. She's a drunk.
Oh.
Is she?
Not really, but sort of, She drinks and she smokes.
Sex and the City ladies. They've got to be drunk a lot.
They get drunk a lot.
Yeah, but
they're not like
it doesn't.
They're not alcoholics, though.
No, but actually, I would say that they are alcoholics and they're not necessarily drunks.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't show them as actually being inebriated.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's true.
Initially I was thinking about the showier drunks, like Days of Wine and Roses and Leaving Las Vegas. But then I thought it'd be more interesting to think about like functional drunks, which the Thin Man never occurred to me, but that's kind of what they were, I suppose. But Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate is absolutely a drunk. Paul Newman in The Verdict.
Yeah, The Verdict. That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean he's clearly drunk through most of the movie, but in a way that he's able to do his job barely.
Yeah, one of the few egg drinks made for a character outside of Rocky in a color movie that I can see that really gives you a hint of like how disgusting that is as like a hair of the dog remedy, like where in a lot of older movies you'll see the guy go in, he's a Star is Born, right? Goes in every morning, he has the fizz with the egg in it, and he drinks it, and it's black and white, so it's like, oh, that's weird. And then you see Paul Newman do it, and you're like, that is an egg. That is disgusting. That really looks like an egg. Because that's in color.
But the sale of that egg went completely to charity.
It's true. It's true. I like the Cool Hand Luke.
Oh yeah.
Sort of.
I like Newman's own headache remedy.